Hi, we're at the domicile at the Punzi Grange today, and we're going to talk about starting seeds indoors. Now you might be thinking, well, I can't do that. I don't have a greenhouse. Or, I don't have a windowsill that gets light. But you don't need to have that. And you may be saying, you're thinking grow lights? Well, that's really expensive. Doesn't have to be if you know how to do it right. And I'm going to show you today how I do it in a very cheap, cost-effective way. First, we have to start with the bulbs, and we're going to look at fluorescent bulbs because that's what you're going to use. We're going to start out with 48-inch fluorescent bulbs, but we're going to actually use two different types of bulbs. The first type we're going to use is the one that you're probably familiar with, and that's the cool white, which is what you see in most businesses and most homes. And they have a blue hue to them, and you can actually see the packaging has blue on the edges. The second one is a warm white bulb, which gives off light in the red spectrum, and you can see there's red on the sides. And you're going to want to get 40-watt bulbs. Don't get energy-efficient bulbs, because energy-efficient bulbs will actually produce less lumens, less light, and the plants need as much light as you can give them. Okay? The other thing you're going to want to consider is getting a fixture for your lights. And the fixture is going to be a shop light. These are roughly around $10, $12 at your local hardware store. And they're very easy. They fit 48-inch fluorescent bulbs. And you can see they just get them down into the slots, slide them down, do the same thing on the back side. And then you just twist them. And it locks into place. And you do that on the other side. Now you're going to use two different color bulbs because actually leaves give off green light because they don't use that light. They actually use the red and the blue on either side of the spectrum. So that's why you're going to want to use these two different color bulbs. And that way you can avoid buying the expensive full spectrum bulbs, which can cost up to $20 per bulb. The cool white bulbs will cost under $2 and the warm white under $4. So you're in good shape there as far as cost. The other thing you're going to want to consider now that you have your unit set up, you may want to get a timer. And this is, you just need a single on-off timer. You're going to want to keep it on about 16 hours a day. And you may want to also get an adapter because you can see it is a 2-prong into the timer and it's a 3-prong from the shop light. So you're going to want to get an adapter as well. And then if you're going to be using more than one unit, the way I do, you're going to want to get a power strip with an on-off. You don't really need the on-off if you're using a timer, but if you're doing a manual, then you'll want to switch. And this also has surge protection, which is always a good idea. Now we're going to go look at how I set up my system, and I actually set it up on a shop unit, which is modular. These pieces all come apart, modular, and it's molded, and I'm lucky because I can actually put water inside of this if I need to. If you don't have one that can hold water, then you're going to want to get a plastic tray to water your plants. Make sure you don't get water all over your shop lights. Now I'm going to show you what the color is on the shop lights. Pull it up and you can actually see the lower one is the warm white bulb and the top one is the cool white bulb. You can actually really see the difference in the colors that they give off. You're going to want to keep these as close to possible as to the plant. So you want to keep them about 4 inches above the plants. And you can do that because you have these little chains and you can adjust the chains. I drilled a hole up in here in order to mount this, and then the chains, you just adjust the chain so that you're about 4 inches above the plants. So with that, you have everything you need to start plants indoors. You can even grow house plants better if you have problems with house plants. Start seeds, save money. So why not try it this time? Until next time, this is Peter Punzi, horticulture guy. Live long and garden.